Okay, there we go. Um, Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lilian Shiro. I trained back in Kenya as a nurse and I apparently work in the UK as a registered nurse. Guys, in today's video or in this live, I have a special guest by the name Gloria. She lives in Scotland and she's also a registered nurse, but I'll give her a moment to introduce herself. So Gloria, if you could introduce yourself, please.
Thank you, Lillian, for having me on your channel. Hello, Lillian's subscribers and followers. My name is Gloria. I'm a registered nurse based living in Scotland, like Scotland. Thank you for having me.
Wow, thank you so much, Gloria, for being here. Yeah, so many people do not know the difference between the states in the UK. We do have four states. That is the England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. So that's why I have a special guest here because the questions that usually come in, it's which is the best place to live in the UK? And then I thought it's good if I could bring Gloria here because she knows so much about Scotland. She lives there and maybe she could tell us about the cost of living. So we're gonna do the comparison so that you'd make a sound, decision to know should I live in Scotland or in Northern Ireland, because it's believed Northern Ireland is the cheapest, but we're gonna find out with this beautiful soul, Gloria. So Gloria, if you don't mind, maybe you can just tell us what kind of a nurse you are. Do you have a family? So that when we are going through this cost of living, we'll have to touch bits here and there. You can inform our guests, our viewers, like what kind of a nurse are you? Do you have a family? And what have you?
Yes, that's not a problem. So I am a registered nurse. I was working in a care home for a few years before I recently moved to the NHS, and I'm a renal nurse or dialysis nurse. I have three children, three young children. So my cost of living is going to be a little bit affected by, how many dependents I have. It's going to be a bit different, but just to give you a rough estimate of, and I'm sure we're going to decide if I'll be able to win you over to come to Scotland or to go to Northern Ireland. Let's see who will win.
Yeah, we'll see who gonna win this one because I know Scotland is very, very beautiful. When we were in school, we used to read about Scotland, the kings, the queens, and the palace. So we knew Scotland, from way back in school, and we did know more about Northern Ireland and Wales. We came to know them when we came here. So Gloria, probably we can start off by telling us about the house rent. What's the range when you want a 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom? What you'd advise someone to rent, depending with the family and stuff like that. Maybe you can guide us on that.
Yes. For rent, I'm going to just say I don't know if Northern Ireland will win it because I know that rent is more cheap in Northern Ireland. Because personally speaking, my current house where I stay is a 3 bedroom house.
Wow.
It's not close to the outskirts, it's not in the city center. The more you are to the city center, the more you are to Edinburgh, that is how much you're going to have to pay. But I am far, far away from Edinburgh. It's not a small town, it's just a good, okay town. And I'm paying 660 for a 3 bedroom mid-terrace house. There was a time I was living in another small, very small retirement town. Okay. I was paying 720 for a 3 bedroom. So it will depend on where you are, depend on how many dependents you have. If you're going to be renting, let's say where I am right now, if you're going to be renting about 2 bedroom, it shouldn't be more than 550 or so. And if you're going to be renting like 1 bedroom, maybe 400, 350. But then depend, if you're in Edinburgh, even for a 3 bedroom, you can be paying as much as 1,000, 9,950, up to 1,100. So depend on how close you are to the city center, yeah, and depend on what part of Scotland that you are. So the rent rate is very, very different depending on the location.
Wow. Okay. There's not much difference because even here depends with the location. The only difference I've seen there, I live in Belfast, yeah, and the city is the capital city of the Northern Ireland where I am. Yes. Yes. And where I live, it's not far from the city center. I can actually walk there. Yeah. Yeah, it's very few minutes to get there. Maybe 15, 20 minutes I'll be there. I can walk. And you said you live in a 3-bedroom house. You pay 660, but you are in the outskirts, right? Like you are far from
Yes.
the city. I'm not far from the city. I'm in a 3-bedroom house. So the cost of living would be 650. 650. And I do say I have like 2 car parks, and I have a courtyard. No, the backyard, a small backyard for my child, to play around, and even for the safety of my child as well. She also like goes outside and plays, with her friends and stuff like that. And the for 1 bedroom, you said 300 and something there.
Yes.
Rarely do we have such kind. I've not had, unless if it's really, the range here would be around 400, 450, but the same amount of money would be for a 2-bedroom. So I usually advise someone, if you're coming to live in Northern Ireland, in Belfast, go for a 2-bedroom, because you have a spare room. You can have your own room if you don't have a family, and you can have a guest room. If not that, you can have your own room, and if you have family, maybe you have kids, they can stay in the other room, you see. Then we usually have like the single room. There are those
Yes.
apartments. Yeah,
Yes.
they even go to 150 pounds or 250 pounds a month. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, it can be that cheap when it comes to housing here. So it all depends the kind of a house that you want, and again the location as well. Once you go outside a little bit, it will be a bit cheaper, because you can see if I am paying 650 where I am, there's some area of Belfast where they'll be paying like a 550, or
Yes.
they'll be paying even 500, depending. So I would say when it comes to house rent there, I win.
That's true. That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. That's
Uh-huh.
true. Okay, yes, house rent is a bit on the high side in Scotland. It's not as cheap because I'm far away from the city center. As
Uh-huh.
like this is actually one of the cheap areas.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Coming now from the house rent, let's go maybe to council tax. And maybe before you go there, let me give myself a point. We don't pay council
I
tax.
know.
Council tax. Probably you can tell our viewers what is council tax. Yeah, what is it about, and how much roughly you pay? Does it depend with the locality where you are, or does it depend, or is it in general? How much do you pay for the council
Yes.
tax?
So council tax, I know Northern Ireland, they don't pay council tax, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
But in Scotland, we pay council tax, and council tax is what the government or your council, because like now, if you're in Fife Council, East Lothian Council, everybody has council. So your council, they get that money from you. Like you don't have a choice. You pay that money, and they use that money to take your trash. It also covers your water. It covers your road maintenance, area maintenance, and public places, trimming the grass, and those are just what council tax is for. And currently I'm paying about £120 for a
Okay.
3-bedroom for
Uh-huh.
council tax. So it's usually the same for different areas. Like my whole area, you can be sure that your neighbor is paying the same. The only way it can be different is if you're single, if you're living in the house alone, you don't have much rubbish, as somebody who has 3 children. So you can get discounts. You can get single discounts. You can get student discounts. So there are discounts that you can get. But yes, I pay 120 for my council tax.
Wow. Okay, talking of the council tax, then because you've mentioned about maintenance of the roads and stuff like that, do you really like include the road tax, or now the road tax will be different in that area?
So road tax is for the one you pay for your car when you have a car. So that's different. That's like the highway, the main road. So the council
Yeah.
tax is for, you see those road that enters into your house, those local roads and rubbish, the rubbish that you generate, your waste and your water. So that's what it covers.
Okay, now I see. Okay, we don't pay the house council tax, but if you're in Northern Ireland and you own a car, you'll be paying the road tax.
We
And
pay. We also pay road tax. That's different.
yeah, and something, if you don't pay your car, you can't drive the car. Unfortunately, you have to make sure you pay for that. It's actually there. You see, when you are buying a car, or when you are doing like the maintenance of the car and stuff like that, they look for the road tax the MOT, you know, the MOT, that is the
Yes.
government approves that your car is
Yes.
to be on the road.
Fit.
So council tax, no, the now it's still council, but it's in the part of the road tax. It's only that we don't pay for the house council tax, but for the road, apparently I pay £24 monthly. So I don't know how much you pay for the car tax.
My own tax, like road tax,
Yeah.
is about how much do I pay for road tax? I think I just paid it at once, about 100 and something for a year.
Oh, okay.
For a year, I just paid road tax. So car stuff is different. For I pay for insurance, I pay for road tax, and then you do your MOT. So for my road tax, I think it was about 100 and something. I just paid it at once.
Wow. Do you think it would be cheaper than paying the whole amount for the whole year? Because I know there's that option for paying for the whole year, but then I opt to pay monthly because when I pay monthly, I'm able to track down my expenses. You understand what I mean? As I said, I'm a single mom, so I keep track of every expenses that I have in the house and if the money I'm bringing in and the money that is going out there. So I have to keep track. So would you advise someone who is in Scotland to be paying maybe for a whole year? Do you think it's cheaper other than maybe paying monthly?
Yeah, so most things, actually, generally speaking, when you pay in bulk, is just a little bit, maybe about 10-20 pounds cheaper if you look at it. But when you pay instrumentally, sometimes, most of the time, you have it more expensive. It may not be much, maybe £10 or £20 difference in a year, but it just depends on what works for you. At the time, I just wanted to get it off and done.
Yeah.
Unlike my car insurance, because it was so much, I couldn't pay at once. So I'm paying monthly.
Okay, it's just the same here. Even car insurance, most people prefer doing monthly. Just like I've said, people like keeping track of the expenses. And then before we move away from that topic, probably you could tell us about the general bills in the house. Like the water bill and electricity bill, and maybe do you use gas for heating, or do you use electricity, or do you use oil? And then maybe we can compare with what we use here, because those are the main things that we have here as well.
Yes, so that's okay. Apart from the rent that you pay, which that's not inclusive, that's different. That's for your landlord for his hard work. I also pay my electricity and my gas, for some reason, is together. So there's some, like my previous house as well, I had to pay, maybe we charge to pay for the gas, different from the electricity. But this particular house, I have both together. And because I'm with the same company, I'm doing direct debits, which was very, very cheap, and about £72 a month.
For both electricity and
gas and heating.
Oh wow! Are we talking during winter time or summertime?
So it's standard. So it's standard is so depend on what electricity provider you've gone for.
Okay.
My previous place, I was recharging and the money was just going like zoom 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 like this. But when I was able to get a direct debit, so they will take the same amount whether in summer or in winter, so that in summer we don't on our heater at all.
Okay.
So they will save that money. The money you're paying will now be saved towards winter, when you need the heating on almost 24 hours. So that's how they are able to meet up with the money.
Wow. Wow. I'm happy to know that, because, we are learning something, and we say we learn every day.
Yes.
Yeah, despite life being cheaper here, I think if someone goes for your method, because that's something I'm happy to try, like the direct debit, is it monthly or maybe it's quarterly? Because I know I've been given that option of quarterly, like after 4 months, every 4 months, maybe they deduct some amount of money from my account and stuff like that. So is that the way you do it, or is it
no? For me, just monthly. It's just monthly. So when the provider when we applied for the provider, they're like, okay, they have direct debit option, and that direct debit is fixed price. They don't change it, except maybe another year has come when they're going to maybe add something. But that's the same amount of money I'm paying for the first 12 months contract. £72 for both heating and gas. And it's just every month, set direct debit, it goes to the account every month. Whether you use your gas or you don't use it, it just goes out.
Okay, I think now the difference is because we have so many energy providers, like the electricity, I use Power and then the gas, I have a different company that is providing that. But you see, monthly, if I could say how much I would be using, probably the side of the gas would be 30. Right now it's summertime, so might be even maybe between 25 30 there because it's summertime. Electricity, it's summertime, could be 20 to 30, that range, yeah. But during winter, of course, Northern Ireland, it's cold. I think the same as Scotland, yeah. So
Scotland is colder. It's the coldest part of the UK.
so during winter, yeah, I would give myself the same range, around 70 to 80 during winter, because of course, I have a child. Even you have kids in the house, you
Yes.
have to keep your house, heating on,
Warm.
unless if she's in school and you can switch off, they don't have to run the whole day. You can switch off, just to save the energy. Otherwise, I think we can try that one and see. That is something I'll try, like a direct debit, and see if it will save me something.
Money. Okay.
Yeah. But you see, when I'm doing like that, just the way I said, I keep track of my expenses. I'm able to see, like, now I'm using 20 pounds, before I used to use like 30 pounds in my previous house, because it's a different power provider. Yeah. So it all depends with who is providing you with the energy. So what
That's
about
true.
oil? Do you have oil? Like,
No, 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 no. It's just gas. I think it's just gas and electricity. I don't know how they provide it. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know where it comes out from. I just know
yeah.
your gas and your electricity is together. That's it.
Okay.
72 pounds.
Okay. Maybe the advice I would give our viewers here is, I know people who are using oil, but oil is too expensive. If you're using oil, there are people who are using 500 pounds a month, heating during winter time. But if you use the gas, the gas is good because you can pay as you go. If you
Yes.
want like 20, that, even 5 pounds, here you can top up as low as 5 pounds for the gas. So oil is 200, maybe summertime, per month. I stand to be corrected if anyone sees this video. I'm saying, with the experience that I know other people have gone through. So oil can be very expensive. So if you are coming to the UK because of course, wintertime, you can't avoid, please avoid oil heating. Try as much as you can to get a gas or electricity heating house,
Yes,
and
that's
then
true.
and then you see there are these people who are like now I did a video for London, and my friend told me that the heating electricity is the major or the main heating that they have. They don't use gas. I even have a friend who is in eastern side of England, in Essex. Also, she's using like electricity. So they count together. But then it depends with how long are you gonna use this heating. That's how your expenses will be counted. Yeah. Do you
Yes.
pay for water in your place?
No, so because of the council tax, I don't need to pay for water. Unlike in
Oh,
England they pay for water apart from every other bill. But for us, you don't need to pay for water. And I was speaking with someone in England. You see how when I first came, I
mhm.
remember my first house. I was trying to manage the water. I would want to do things in the night. Maybe the water will be managed. I don't want to shower unnecessarily. And then
Yeah.
I discovered that wait, whether or not you use the water, you're going to pay council tax and you're going to be charged. So
Yeah.
you don't need to measure how many water you use. It's just use as
Okay.
you want because it's in your
Mhm.
council tax.
Okay, that's good. You see, now it's different because, like, in England, they would pay for the water separately, despite
Yes,
paying the council tax, and most of
yes,
the council tax amounts like 150 depending, and
yes,
yourself you're using 120, and you have a family, you know
yes.
so I think the best thing is, in Northern Ireland, the water is free.
It's free. Okay.
The water is free. So I usually say I can run my tap. Of course, I won't waste water, but I can run my tap from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So yeah, there's no bills for water here. No, nothing. Yeah, now maybe you can tell us about grocery. Is it affordable to buy food and stuff like that? And then now we can compare between me. I'm a single mom. I have one, and you have three kids. Let tell us so that if anyone is coming with the family, they would know exactly what they are looking up to.
when it comes to grocery, I've never been able to understand how much I spend specifically in a month, because I'm one person, obviously you can see I like food. And my children as well, I've got two boys and a
Okay.
girl, and my two boys also eat a lot, I'll
Okay.
say. And
Mm-hmm.
I have my husband as well, so what we eat is a lot. We consume a lot. Like, I don't know what that will mean. As long as we don't eat out, we don't do those extra stuff, I
Mm-hmm.
would say maybe grocery in a month, maybe about 250 to 300. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. That's not African food. I mean, just the grocery. But when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to African food, that's another story entirely. But grocery, all this, normal breakfast and stuff, maybe 250 to 300, depend. Some months maybe more, some months maybe less. Just I
Okay.
can't really say exactly how much we spend because I don't check. I
Mm-hmm.
just go buy, and when it's finished, you have to go and buy again, and it's finished, and then you go and buy again. So that's how it is. I don't actually know the exact amount I spend in a month for grocery, because that's
All
one thing I don't monitor. Because that it's only food that I don't buy clothes, I don't buy shoes, but I eat.
Yeah, so here when it comes to grocery, it all depends where you're going to buy your food. There
As
are
well.
some supermarkets which are very cheap, like Lidl. People say Lidl, Aldi, Iceland. Those are
Iceland,
uh,
yeah, okay, yeah, okay.
there's Poundland as well. There's
Yes,
Pound Stretcher as well. Like
yes.
those are the cheaper, shops that you can go to, the supermarkets. Again, for emergencies, maybe that's why you may find yourself using more money. We have Spar.
M&S, Sainsbury's.
You see? So if you go like to a spa, the good thing with spa, they usually have like the fuel, the gas pumps and stuff like that. So for emergencies, you see these small things with the emergencies, you can buy from the spa, but they are very, very expensive.
Yes,
Yeah,
okay.
they are very expensive. And then we have other supermarkets like Tesco. Tesco is expensive compared to Lidl, but it's somewhere in between there. It depends actually what you're buying from Tesco.
That's
So
true.
it all depends actually the shop that you're gonna choose. So you better choose the cheaper one, like Lidl. Myself, I'm used to Lidl. And
Lidl.
then so many people who come from Africa, they ask me, do you have an African shop? Yes, there's an African shop here. I understand it's the same as Scotland, yeah?
In,
Scotland.
Sc-
Mm-hmm,
in Scotland, we have African shop, but it's far from us. Most African, for me now, where I'm living,
mm-hmm.
before I will get good African shop, it may not even be run by an African. It's because I made a video one day where I was showing African food, and someone was saying, "You're a bad girl. You should buy things from your sisters from Africa." Because it was an Asian shop, and I
I
just
saw that
smiled.
video actually. I did. I
I
watched that
just
video.
smiled because here in Scotland there are not
Mhm.
many black people.
Yeah.
So before I can get even the time I was living before, we're the only black family in that whole community.
Mm-hmm.
Before I will get to African shop, it's
Mm-hmm.
45 minutes drive. I need to go to Edinburgh or I need to go to Glasgow
Wow. And
because you don't get them.
do you know something? Like now I know two major shops and they're not that big here in Belfast. There's an African shop purely. Actually, it's owned by a Ghanaian. And then there's the Asian shop, but all of them they sell the same kind of things that we need as Africans. You
Mm-hmm.
see them, right?
Mm-hmm.
They sell the same kind of things.
Yes.
So someone is asking me whether there's somewhere to buy, African stuff. Yes, there is. You can buy groceries like okra, sweet potatoes, beans, those kind of African
Yes.
stuff that
Yes.
we buy. But then this other normal kind of food buy in the supermarket is still very good. And then also I was comparing the rice that we buy from the African shop and the supermarket. There's not much difference. Yeah. So see what works for you when it comes to grocery. And then for me, I would say if I am doing a proper shopping, I would do like that £5 for 1 to 2 weeks. That £5, but it's just me and my daughter.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's
roughly,
cheap.
yeah, I would say on the side of food, it's maybe 150. Just me and her, yeah, 150. And of course, I love tea. So those emergency like milk and stuff. So you have to keep topping up. Yeah, you have to keep buying more and fruits. So those are the
Yes.
things that you find. Maybe they're a bit expensive. I find fruits being expensive here. I don't know whether it's the same as your.
Yes, fruits are more expensive than junk food. You can buy a whole tub of ice cream for less than £1, but just to
Yeah,
buy one apple, maybe
yeah,
six
that's true.
pieces, will be almost
Imagine.
£2. Mm.
Imagine, yeah, fruits they're expensive. So those emergency things may increase, your expenses. Yeah. So
Yes.
in terms of cost of living, I don't see like there's so much difference apart from that you are paying council tax there. And the house rent, of course, it's on the higher side on your side.
They are the
Yeah.
main things. Those are the two main things. I'm
Yeah.
sure if you're living in Northern Ireland, you'll be saving about over 300 a month on both council tax and rents. You'll be saving
Yeah.
over 300 compared to when you're in
Uh-huh.
Scotland.
Yeah, that's true. And that's why, do you know when I was coming here, I was meant to go to England, but then I was advised by my agency, the African nurses, you can help one another to mind your child and stuff. But when you
Yes,
get here,
yes.
anyway, I said I'm not moving. Like so far, so good. But then the main reason is why I was being told go maybe to Northern Ireland. You have help with childcare. That was totally different. When you come,
All right. Okay.
people have their own problems.
Hmm.
People have their own problems. They are trying to sort out their stuff, their things. So those African nurses that you are being told that you meet them there, maybe one or two. Just there, I would say like someone who understands your situation would help you.
Okay.
You
Right.
know, yeah. So maybe now when it comes to that side, do you know much about childcare in Scotland?
In Scotland, childcare, I would say, because normally in fact, I was supposed to come to Northern Ireland when I was coming to the UK, because it's like a rumor that Northern Ireland is very, very cheap, and you find black community to help you with your children and everything. So I wanted to move to Northern Ireland, but then my company did not have any branch in Northern Ireland. So when it comes
Okay.
to childcare option, I don't think it's going to be easier up
Mm.
here, because you can hardly find black people. You will find them, but they are mainly in Edinburgh, where they've come to study. Or
Okay.
you find few. Now that I'm in a church, I also have
Mhm.
loads of Africans in my church, more than 50 of us, black
Wow.
families. Yeah, so
Wow.
I'm making good community. But childcare is just the same. I think it's about the same with having to pay for nanny. It's just going to be the same. There's no benefits moving up here as it
Okay.
is in
Mhm.
England. But when it comes to school fees, let me quickly check. Let me quickly chip that in. I know in Northern Ireland, school fees is free for
Yeah.
primary,
Yeah.
free for secondary,
Mhm.
but you pay for universities, don't you?
Yeah.
But one thing that is different in Scotland, I know a lot of people don't know, and they actually do not believe me, is
Uh-huh.
that if you've lived up here in Scotland for up to 3 years continuously,
Okay.
you can have your first degree free of charge. Is about 800 and something pound, but SAAS, I don't know the full meaning, Scottish something, they will pay for that. They will pay for that money. It's not expensive. But if you're a foreigner, international student, it's of course about 7,000 plus, 9,000 plus. But if
Yeah.
you've lived continuously in Scotland for 3 years, you're a citizen, you're a permanent resident, you can attend university for free. So that's what I always say, that all those my council tax money and my
Yeah.
rent that I'm saving in not coming to Northern Ireland, I will get
Uh-huh.
it when my children are in university. I have three anyway, so they will go to school for free. The
Wow.
first degree. But your second degree and your master's, you have to pay.
Okay. Wow, that's a great deal. 8,000? You know, 8,000 is a lot of money. So if
I
you get
know.
£8,000 on the side of education, because like now my child, she's just in the lower primary, yeah. But then I'm still thinking when it comes to university, how am I going to manage this? I'm still setting myself up now. I have to think ahead, as a mom, because, we were
Yes,
taught back home. Our parents showed us it's good to invest in your kids' education. That's why we are here. And I want to
yes,
prepare her for a better future as well.
yes.
So, wow, congrats. That's really good.
So that's the one good reason why, yes, most people do not know, but if you go and browse, just browse university in Scotland for
Yeah.
Scottish or for a citizen, or for, yeah, you'll see it's about 800 and something pound. But that 800 and something, the school will pay.
And do you know, there's someone who mentioned to me that if you've lived here for like 3 years, you can also like qualify for free university education. I
Okay,
don't
all
know,
right.
don't know how it works. That is something I need to find out. Yeah,
Okay,
because I know
maybe.
university is supposed to pay, but I need to find out that one. because someone was telling me, why don't you go for the free, because you're already more than 3 years. This is my 5th year here. So she
Your
was like,
5th year.
yeah, this is my 5th year now.
Wow.
I've started my 5th year. So she was like, you qualify for free education. Why don't you use that one? So I'm yet to really find out how it works. If not, I just go to the normal way. And congrats, by the way. I realized you're in school. I didn't know you were in school. You know, are you doing the online schooling?
Yes, I'm doing nursing top up. So I'm in school. I'm in Edinburgh Napier University.
Okay.
Although I'm paying for that.
Okay.
Yes, I'm paying for that. Yes, I'm in school.
Is it physical or is it online?
It's online. It's online. So it's like a part-time. It's
Okay,
online.
that's good because many people go to Derby. Like the one I had applied, it's Derby University. You know Derby University?
I
Yeah,
know Debbie do it, Sunderland.
and
Most of them do it. Yeah.
okay, that's good. Anyway, so when it comes to kids, probably you can tell us what's your process of enrolling your kids to school. Is it easy to find schools? Because most people who are coming here, they are families. Those who have families, they would like to know, how do I enroll my child to school?
It's
Maybe
not hard. It's not hard at all. It's just the same. Like I've done it twice now when my children came to our former's place and when I moved to this place. So what you want to do is you want to know where you want to go, where
Okay.
you're coming to. That's where your house is.
All
And then
right.
there are catchment areas. So where your
Okay.
house is, the closest school to you is your catchment area. You get priority in that school. But if there's no space in that school, they will take you to another school. And if it's too far, they may provide transportation or those stuff. But when it comes to enrolling children is just easy peasy. First thing for me, what I usually do is to write to the school, get their email.
Yeah.
So when you're renting your house, under there you see closest primary schools. So I'll just copy the email, write to the school and say I've got so children ages this, and I'm looking for a placement for them, and I'll tell them my address.
Okay.
And another thing I'll also do again to back it up is to mail council, the council of your area. You're paying council they owe you, they work for you. So I'll email council as well and say I've got so just copy them, and then council will reply me. I've done it twice now. Council will reply and say, okay, they've emailed so school and the school should get in touch with you. Sometimes the school would have even gotten in touch with me before, and usually even within 1 or 2 days I usually get my email back. The school will tell me if they have space
Or not.
But like the school I applied to, the last one is a Catholic school. I moved to this place because of that school. It's a very, very good school. And I'm like, I had to add it there that because of religion, I want my children in this school. If they hear that one, automatically they replied me the next day and said, okay. So, and then they will invite you to the school or then send you a form that you fill. You can fill it online, send it back, or take it to school. And they told me that on the resumption date, the children should be at the gate because it's during COVID, this last one. Children should be at the gate by 9 o'clock. And I gave them the form and I dropped them at the gate, and the teacher took them in, and that's it. But the first school I was invited to come and see their classroom, to come and this. It's just that's all, nothing else. They may ask you for sometimes they may ask you for their passport or their BRP, but even if your children are not legal, you cannot deny children education in this country. So it's not even important. That was the only thing they asked me.
Yeah. Do you know something to do with schools here? It's a little bit different because we don't use council. So you need to know where you are renting your house, where you live. Are there schools around you? That is your homework you need to do before you get a house. So once you have the house, that's the time you get the school. And then I've said it's not involving the council. So you go direct to the school. You write the email to the school, then they tell you, do they have a space, for your child in a certain class? Like my daughter is in P3. So they are the ones to respond to you. So they'll tell you about the uniform, they'll guide you the shop where you're gonna buy the uniform and stuff like that. And then their school dinners in school is £2 and 60 pence for a dinner in school. Or I prefer, to save money, I prefer packing her own lunch. So on rare cases will I let her eat in school. Most of the time I do the lunch myself because I find it's too expensive. 260 daily, that will be amounting like £60 a month. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I prefer doing that. So here in Northern Ireland, you're the one to know where your child is going to school. Like myself, the same. I take my child to a Catholic school. Because of religion, you need to know God. Okay, not in a bad way, but most people, they don't believe in God, and I don't think I wanna lie on that side. Yeah. So I want my daughter to grow up knowing that there's God. In that God ways as a parent, because when we come from Africa, it doesn't matter which kind of religion you go, but where we are now, it really matters. But for my
Yes.
child to know God.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, that's good. Maybe what about the leisure activities? Are they available? Are they affordable? Like going
Yes.
to,
Yes.
huh?
Like the meal, you said the school meal for my younger child, even in their previous school, they were eating free.
Okay.
And my younger son also, his school lunch is free. But the older one, who is in primary 5, we are paying via the council. It's not a lot. I think it's 100 and something per semester. I don't know. It's not a lot. I
Okay.
don't know.
Is it
This
a
semester,
must to eat? Is it a must to eat in school, or you can pack the
you
lunch?
you can pack the lunch, but I'm too lazy to wake up and cook for any child. I'm so
Me,
sorry.
I cook like food for 2 days. So like
Ah.
today I finish the food today. Tomorrow I'm gonna cook. Tomorrow is Sunday, so I know Sunday dinner, Monday and Tuesday is catered for. I find it very economical. That's the way I usually save on the side of cooking.
It's because you have just one child. Me, if I cook, if I have the biggest pot, if I cook
Mhm.
that meal, it finishes that day because they will finish it. So except I'm going to be cooking all my life, there's
Mhm.
no way I can meet up with their eating.
Wow, I
So
understand.
because they will eat in the house in the morning before they go, they will eat in the school. When they come back immediately by 3 o'clock, they still want to eat and they will still eat dinner.
Wow. Oh, I understand. So what about swimming? Swimming, is it affordable? These activities for the kids, are there parks around? Are they many and stuff like that?
Yes, there are parks around. If you want to join membership, which will
Mm-hmm.
include everything for adults, for me, about 30 something a month.
Mm-hmm.
But for them, they have after school club, which are free. Some, like my children play, is it ball? There's different, I don't know. One is in singing, one is in ball. Those ones are free after school. But then they have their football match,
Okay.
which is also free, but their dad pays. But for them, the children is free. They go to train every Tuesday. But then when you want to maybe do swimming and all those ones, you maybe pay maybe £7 per. I don't know how it is for children really.
Okay.
I don't know how it is here. I don't know. For adults, you can maybe join a gym for 30 something, and then you can go to the sauna, to the gym, to the swimming, to everything, just like a membership.
Okay. Yeah, there's not much difference because it's affordable. There's not much difference. Only that you're in NHS, like you can get a discount, the gym that you want to go. You can have a
Yes.
very good discount. Like with Pure Gym, I understand they give the NHS staff a discount. Like that membership, which is 29, you find someone is paying 18 from NHS, which
Yes.
is a really good thing. So tell
Yes.
us about weather. If summer, it's summer. Here we have, here it's unpredictable. The weather here is unpredictable. It can rain in the morning, it can be sunny. Like wintertime, it can snow. Like we can have 4 seasons in a day. So is summer, or is it very cold? Because we don't enjoy that much if there's no good sun, and we are saying it's summer.
It's the same here. Actually, Scotland is the coldest part of the UK. Anywhere, anytime. It is always colder. I've monitored Northern Ireland and Scotland weather for over a year. I was monitoring it every day. And I've
Okay.
found that the only difference between the weather is about 1 to 2 degrees. So
Yeah.
if Scotland is like 1 degree, Northern Ireland will be 2 degrees or 3 degrees. So it's just very little. So after Scotland, then Northern Ireland. So Scotland is very cold. The weather is bipolar. The weather is crazy. It's
Bipolar.
crazy. It's worse. Like in a day, you can have all the weather. In fact,
Yeah.
Scotland is actually very bad for the weather. That's the worst thing we have. Our weather is crazy. When I went to England last year, when I
Mm-hmm.
went to England, my children were complaining because the felt was too warm. Just because we are so used to the cold in Scotland. Scotland is cold. It's cold.
Wow. Yeah, I
Yes,
should visit Scotland. I know it's beautiful. I
it
should
is
be doing
beautiful.
that. So, all right, that's it, guys. So, thank you so much, Gloria. Because of time, I think we should have you again. I will have to invite you again so that we can talk more about Scotland. I'd love to know about the lifestyle and stuff like that in Scotland. So, for now, do you have any last words to our viewers?
I would say basically when you're going somewhere, just research. Of course, you want to research, but when I came to Scotland, I didn't have a clue. I didn't know anything at all because everybody wants to go to England. There were just few of us, especially as YouTubers. There was nobody on YouTube that I knew that was living in Scotland. So I just came blindedly. But getting here, I will tell you one thing. When you talk about being friendly, tolerance, Scottish people are very friendly. I'm not
Mm,
saying there will not be racism. Of course, some people are crazy. Even only seeing you, they hate you. But Scottish people generally, they are extremely friendly. They are very welcoming. They have very high sense of humor. They will smile. They will joke. They are very, very friendly. And they will not discriminate and look down on you. You know how sometimes when you go to
mhm.
some places and they're like, oh, you don't speak good English or blah, blah. No, because
Yeah,
here we don't, English is not their original language. They also have their own language.
yeah,
So
that's
we all speak the English we understand, and they just, you see, they're more friendly. I'm very sure of that. They're very, very friendly.
Wow, that's good. Even here in
Yes.
Belfast, it's the same. People are very, very friendly. Like I usually say, even they look out. You see, like if my daughter is there outside the plane, even if I'm looking after her, there's someone else who is watching her. So I don't have any problem. I will tell her maybe don't go outside the court. But because I remember there was some time she was playing outside, and my neighbor had thought that there's no one looking after her, and she had to text me, at work to ask me who is looking after her. So it's people are so good. That's what I can say. Very, very friendly. The
Yes.
area that I am, we are like three African, they are Indian. So it's like an interracial area.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. People are very friendly here. So thank you so much, Gloria,
Mhm.
for being here. I really appreciate your time and may
Welcome.
God bless you.
Thank you. May you too.
Yeah. So thank you guys for hopping on here, those who have come. And for those who are watching this video later, if you have any questions, remember to drop them in the comment section below, and I will really appreciate that. Also, I appreciate for those who have not subscribed to subscribe. Gloria is also a YouTuber, so I'll be pinning her channel down, yeah, in my comments and also in my description below. So until next time, bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Welcome, Gloria. Thank you so much.
Bye.